Good morning, dear students. I welcome you back to this live session for class 8 science, and the topic which we are beginning today is sound. This must be a very exciting word for you because you always like making different types of sounds, right? You like making noise rather. Noise is also a type of sound. So, anything which we are able to hear is considered a sound, and a sound which is pleasing to our ears, जो सुनने में अच्छी लगती है. Such a sound is referred to as a sound, and when it is non-pleasing to the ear, like the blaring of the sound of the truck, working of the machineries in the factories, these sounds are non-pleasing. Such sounds are called noise. So we should know what is pleasant to our ears: listening to soft music, listening to the words of your friends. All these are pleasant sounds, and unpleasant sounds are called noise. Alright children, so this was a basic introduction, and today we will be studying all these topics in relation to the sound, which include energy, source, vibration, voice box, oscillation, amplitude, time period and frequency. So we are going to study all this today. First of all, the word which I have taken over here is energy. So from here I would like to say that sound is a form of energy. Sound is a form of energy. Okay? And in continuation we will use the word that sound is a form of energy that produces a sensation of hearing. We are able to hear because of the sound being produced. So sound is a form of energy which produces a sensation of hearing, which lets us hear the things. Then, from where does the sound come? For example, now when I am speaking, the sound is coming from my throat somewhere. We will discuss from where it is coming. So actually I have become the source of sound. So any object which is producing sound becomes a source of excuse me. It becomes a source of sound. For example, I have a table in front of me. I will tap it. You are able to hear this sound, so this table becomes a source of sound. If somebody blows the horn of the Activa or the car, that becomes the source of sound. So anything which produces sound is a source of sound. Then the next term which I have used is vibration. Now we have discussed what is a source of sound, but we should know how sound is produced. Okay? So sound is produced as a result of vibrations produced by any object. Sound is produced due to vibrations in any object. When I say in any object, you must be clear by now that any object over here is actually the source of sound. So how are the vibrations produced? When we tap the object, when the air moves, at that time vibrations are produced. So how will we define the term vibration? Vibration is referred to as the rapid to and fro movement of the particles about its mean position. When the particles move to and fro about their mean position, to and fro मतलब एक ही जगह के इर्द गिर्द, okay, to and fro. So to and fro motions produce vibrations. How are vibrations produced? To and fro movement of particles produce vibrations. Okay? Okay, so without my asking for, I am getting all these thumbs up. That's great, children. We will move on to the next. Now I just said that when I am speaking, sound is being produced somewhere in my throat. So what is that part in my throat where the sound is being produced and how it is being produced? By now it is clear that there must be some vibration like this here in the throat, which is producing this sound. So present in the human beings is a special structure which is called the voice box. Voice box is the common name. What will be the scientific name of voice box? The scientific name of voice box is the larynx. Okay? So we have over here a voice box. If I give you just a little time and I ask you to keep your hand on your throat the way I am putting and speak something, or you just put it over here and use the word good morning. At the moment you do this good morning and you tell me that can you feel some vibration in your throat? If you are feeling it, please mention yes in your comments over here. Put your hand here and just say good morning. Do you feel the vibration? Yes, so all of you have felt the vibration. So from here also it is clear that whenever there will be vibration, sound will be produced. So let's see now what is basically the larynx or the voice box. What you just felt over here on your throat is your voice box. Voice box is more peculiar or visible in case of the males, and that is why males have a different voice quality as compared to the females. In the males you can see sometimes a bone like structure coming out over here. That is actually the voice box. Okay. So now inside the voice box, if suppose this is the region of the neck, then inside the voice box there are two cord-like structures. These cords are called the vocal cords. Alright, what are these called? These are called the vocal cords. And when we breathe in, when we speak, the air passes through these vocal cords. यहाँ से air to and fro होती है, आती जाती रहती है. So as the air enters these vocal cords are set into vibrations. And these vibrations result in the production of the sound. You close your mouth, you close your nose. You will not be able to produce sound. आवाज नहीं आएगी because no air will be passing through the vocal cords, no vibration will be taking place, hence no sound will be heard. So we have vocal cords inside the voice box or the larynx which produce the sound due to the passage of air between them, and this brings about the vibrations of the vocal cord and the sound is produced. Okay? Till here if it is clear, then we will move on to the next topic and we will learn a new term over here, that is oscillation. Alright, so that's clear and we will move on to the next topic, oscillation. To understand the oscillation, first you will need to understand what is a pendulum. If you have seen the clocks used in the olden times, alright, in those clocks, there like something like this it was. There was time mentioned here and down in that a structure like this is hanging. So this structure is actually a pendulum. What is it? It is a pendulum. To define the pendulum, we say that a pendulum consists of a metallic heavy bob. एक बॉल जैसा स्ट्रक्चर होता है, एक ऐसे गोल सा स्ट्रक्चर होता है, okay, which is called a bob. So a pendulum consists of a heavy metallic bob which is hung by means of a thread to a fixed support. This support is fixed, to which by the means of thread or string a heavy bob is suspended. So here this is the bob, okay, and this is the string, and this is the rigid support. Rigid support मतलब strong, एक fixed support होनी चाहिए. Support should not be moving. Okay, so this is the rigid support, and this entire thing, let me clear the other extra thing so that it is more clear to you. And I think let this also go. Alright children, so what do we see is that this structure is known as the pendulum. This is the pendulum. Now we have to study the oscillation. So oscillation is defined as the to and fro movement, okay, the motion of the body to and fro. Suppose this is one point, this is the other point, to fro. To fro means moving about one fixed position is known as a to and fro movement. The motion of the body, where the body repeats its motion at regular interval of time, is known as a to and fro motion, and this type of motion is called a oscillatory motion, or it is said to be oscillation. All right. So a to and fro movement about the mean position is called oscillation. We will understand the oscillation with the help of the pendulum. Let this mean position, if you see, this position of the pendulum bob is the position of rest. So this is referred to as the mean position of the bob. Let it be written as O. What is O? It is the mean position. If I give this bob a slight push, it will begin to move to and fro about a fixed position. So if I push it this side, the pendulum bob will reach, say here. If this is O, let this be A. After reaching the point A, the maximum place it can move, it is going to return back. Once it reaches O, it will not stop at O. It will cross this mean position and go to the other side. So after that, it is seen that it comes to the other side like this, and let this position be B. So what has happened? When this pendulum has been set into oscillations, has been set into vibrations, it moves from O to A, returns from A back to O, crosses the mean position, goes from O to B, and then returns from B to O, and this type of motion continues. And I must tell you, if we give a pendulum a move, it only stops because of air resistance. Agar air nahi hogi, so this motion will continue endlessly. Okay. So now, two positions we have learnt over here. Here, this position O is known as the mean position. Anything which is not clear, children, you can ask. And the position up to which the pendulum bob moves on one side is called the extreme position. On either side. So A is also the extreme position and B is also the extreme position. Alright. Now from here we have to understand the term oscillation. So when a pendulum begins to move and it travels from the mean position to extreme position on one side, back to the mean position, extreme position on the other side, and then back to its mean position. This entire motion is referred to as one oscillation. Okay. So when a pendulum is moved, it will move. Suppose this is a pendulum, it will move like this. Ye mean position is like this. Okay. So it is moving along the mean position. Ek side A, फिर ये O, and the other side B. So when the pendulum moves from O to A, back to O, then to B, and back to O, this is called one oscillation. So if I understand from this, we can say that one to and fro motion of a vibrating object is called oscillation. Alright? One to and fro movement is referred to as one oscillation. Now we will understand a few more terms related to the pendulum itself. The maximum distance between the mean position and the extreme position. The maximum distance between the mean position and the extreme position is called the amplitude. Maximum distance between mean and extreme position is what? It is the amplitude. The time taken to complete, and this you know by now I think the word oscillation is clear to you. Pendulum at rest is not vibrating, but once you set the pendulum into motion, it is a vibrating object. Alright. Now you very well know what is one oscillation. Moving from O to A, back to O, to B, back to O. This is one oscillation. And the time taken to complete one oscillation is called the time period. Okay? Time taken, I write here, time period, which is denoted by capital T, is the time taken to complete one oscillation. Alright, amplitude is denoted by capital A. Then we have one more term which is already written over here, frequency. It is denoted by small f. Denoted by small f. We know time period is the time taken to complete one oscillation, and frequency refers to the number of oscillations completed in 1 second. What is frequency? Frequency is a number. It is the number of oscillations completed in 1 second. एक सेकेंड में कितने ऑसिलेशंस होंगे, that is referred to as the frequency of oscillation. Suppose I start the pendulum over here and I note the time, and in 1 second I count the oscillations. Suppose there are 15 oscillations completed by this particular pendulum bob in 1 second. Then the frequency will be equal to 15. The unit of frequency is hertz. H-E-R-T-Z. In the short, it is written as capital H and small z. So the unit of frequency is hertz. If I say 15 hertz, it means 15 oscillations in each second or 15 oscillations in 1 second. I suppose all the terms which we have discussed today are clear to you. Please go through the context, refer to the video again, and the terms will be clear to you. I hope you liked today's session. Don't forget to share it with your friends for their help also. Bye-bye children. Be safe.